Good day, Father Matt Williams here in my parked car. I hope you're doing well. We are continuing in our Advent journey, the joy of the gospel, reflecting on Pope Francis' apostolic exhortation, looking at paragraphs 217 to 229. Okay, so we're still in the chapter 4, the social dimensions of evangelization, and we're looking at the common good and peace in society. And the Holy Father says this about peace. He says, peace in society cannot be understood as pacification or the mere absence of violence resulting from the domination of one part of society over others. Nor does true peace act as a pretext for justifying a social structure which silences or appeases the poor so that the more affluent can placidly support their lifestyle while others have to make do as they can. So in other words, what the Holy Father is saying is that just because there's no violence or there appears to be peace, we should not just rest on that we need to also make sure that everyone is having their basic needs met and that their integral human development is being supported, promoted, and taken care of, protected. And so we can't just sit on this false appearance of peace or pacification. We need to always be actively taking care of the least among us. He says, paragraph 218, the dignity of the human person and the common good rank higher than the comfort of those who renounce their privileges. Imagine that. Their dignity and the common good rank higher than one who renounces those privileges that belong to them. 219. Nor is peace simply the absence of warfare, okay? So peace is not just a matter of not having violence. Peace is not just a matter of not having warfare. Based on a precarious balance of power, peace is fashioned by efforts directed day after day towards the establishment of the ordered universe willed by God. Okay? That's what peace is. Peace is about the right ordering of the world according to the plan of God, with a more perfect justice among men. In the end, a peace which is not the result of integral development will be doomed. Okay? Peace will be doomed if it's not focused on integral human development. It will always spawn new conflicts in various forms of violence. There has to be the right order of our relationship with God, our relationship with each other, and building a just society that cares for integral human development. If that's not the focus, then conflict and future problems will arise. You got to go to the roots. The Holy Father is saying this. We've got to go to the roots. And so now he then will now go on to speak about four aspects of Catholic social doctrine. I'm not a theology professor in Catholic social doctrine, so bear with me. I'm just trying to highlight some of the points that the Holy Father is mentioning. I'm just going to focus on two for our reflection this day. The first one that the Holy Father speaks about is time is greater than space. And what he's getting at here, again, in my own understanding of what the Holy Father is saying, is that it goes back to something I've been saying a lot, that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? Evangelization is not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? Accompanying people entering into the message of their lives. Building a just and ordered, peaceful society is not a matter of quick fixes. That's like the Band-Aid mentality. It's a matter of going to the root, healing the wounds, going to the deep aspects. So like if you got shot by a gun and you have a bullet in you and you just stitch up or Band-Aid the wound, but you don't take the bullet out, that bullet's going to cause an infection in the long run, most likely, and you could die, right? You got to go in and you got to treat the deepest aspect of the wound and bring healing to it. So in saying that time is greater than space, the Holy Father is saying is that we have to work slowly, right? We have to work slowly without being obsessed with immediate results. We have to work slowly to help go to the roots. We have to work slowly to help create the right foundations upon which a just and peaceful society can be built and created. He says is what we need then is to give priority to actions which generate new processes in society, and engage other persons and groups who can develop them to the point where they bear fruit in significant historical events. Okay, so it's not quick fix, it's bringing people together at the table, people sharing their gifts, working together to create new processes, new systems that will help to create the right foundation upon which to build a just and moral society. Sometimes I wonder if there are people in today's world who are really concerned about generating processes of people building right? Or as opposed to obtaining immediate results which yield easy, quick, short-term political gains, but do not enhance human fullness. Okay, so he's not about the quick fix. He's not about the Band-Aid. He's saying that in quoting Catholic social doctrine, we got to be in this for the long run, to go to the roots and get rid of the poison and to heal by building proper foundations. History will perhaps judge the latter with a criterion set forth by Romano Guardini. The only measure for properly evaluating an age is to ask to what extent it fosters the development and attainment of a full and authentically meaningful human existence, in accord with the peculiar character and the capacities of that age. Are we building a society that is fostering the development and attainment of a full and authentically meaningful human existence? The dignity of the human person is always at the center of building a society. And the common good is all of these people coming together, living in communion, living in a society, and all of the needs, spiritual and temporal, that they have in order to develop an integral human life. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is this: unity prevails over conflict. Unity prevails over conflict. And so what he's saying is that, when we remain in our own, entrenched in our own things, and when we focus more on conflict, nothing good is going to come about of this, that we have to be willing to work together. I don't think he's saying that we ever want to compromise our moral integrity and our moral beliefs. He's not saying that at all, right? We would never, because our moral beliefs are based on the gospel, and our moral beliefs hold the dignity of the human person and what Christ has revealed to us about the human person and what leads to authentic human development, what leads to human happiness, what leads to flourishing, right? So it's never to compromise. We never compromise our values. You never compromise your values. But we always want, in conflict, we always want to be working together for unity, which does call for conversion of heart, and for me to come out of my entrenched values to be able to be open to a new process, a new way, right? A new way that meets the needs of the people whom we serve, that meets the needs of the common good. Conflict cannot be ignored or concealed. It has to be faced. If we remain trapped in conflict, we lose our perspective. Our horizons shrink, and reality itself begins to fall apart. In the midst of conflict, we lose our sense of the profound unity of reality. He goes on in 227. It is the willingness to face conflict head-on, to resolve it, and to make it a link in the chain of a new process. See, this is the thing. We might be at odds. Can we work together to create a new process by which we can achieve our goals, right? Blessed are the peacemakers, right? 228. In this way, it becomes possible to build communion amidst disagreement. But this can only be achieved by those great persons who are willing to do what? To go beyond the surface of the conflict and to see others in their deepest dignity. Go beyond the surface of the conflict and to see others in their deepest dignity. This requires acknowledging a principle indispensable to the building of friendship and society, namely, that unity is greater than conflict. He goes on to speak about solidarity. Solidarity in its deepest and most challenging sense thus becomes a way of making history in a life setting where conflicts, tensions, and oppositions can achieve a diversified and life-giving unity. He goes on in 229, right? The locus of this reconciliation of differences is within ourselves, in our lives, ever threatened as they are by fragmentation and breakdown. If hearts are shattered into thousands of pieces, it is not easy to create authentic peace in society. Lastly, in 230, quoting the bishops of the Congo, our ethnic diversity is our wealth. It is only in unity, through conversion of hearts and reconciliation, that we will be able to help our country to develop on all levels. So unity over conflict. So those gives you a couple of the principles from Catholic social doctrine that the Holy Father wanted to focus on in this aspect as we continue to reflect on the social dimensions of evangelization, as we continue to live the gospel with great joy and bringing it to so many others. Have a blessed day, and pray to the Holy Spirit to be open when the Lord sends that person into your life, that you can be able to be a witness of joy to them and share the good news. And also, let us keep praying and asking the Lord to show us how He's calling us to reach out and to care for those who are most in need. God bless you.